Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. So what now? Now, we go to the sea! Introducing the Southern Fried Shrimp Meal. With butterflied shrimp that's perfectly golden fried. A perfect blend of cocktail sauce and Zax sauce that we call Zax Tail Sauce. Plus perfectly seasoned crinkle fries, perfectly buttery Texas toast, and even a drink with perfectly pebbled ice. Here's to 30 more years of perfect. The new Southern Fried Shrimp Meal at Zaxby's. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Joe Dredge. Mornings on WROK. Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
6 minutes after 6, News Talk 1440 WROK. It's Riley and Joe. It's a Friday morning. Nice looking one already. Yeah. Clear and sunny. It's a cool morning out there, though. It's 48 degrees. We don't have a feels like because we don't have any wind. Zero. No. Humidity's at 85%. We're looking at a daytime high today of 83. Should be all sun all day. Chance of precipitation on this Friday is 1%. Okay. Tomorrow, kind of a carbon copy of today. Lots of sunshine. 83 once again. The only thing that changes is there might be a couple of more clouds, and we do have a 15% chance of drawing rain on your Saturday. Sunday, though, different. We're looking at clouds. We're looking at nearly 20 degrees cooler at 66 as our high on Sunday, with a 60% chance of it being rainy. Monday, 72 and partly sunny with a 15%. Tuesday's 81 and partly sunny with a 10%.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at over the next few. Today should be beautiful. Tomorrow as well. Sunday does look like it's going to be wet. And then we're back to decent weather again Monday and Tuesday to start the work week.
Sounds good.
I don't see anything that says 90s. I don't see anything that says massively high humidity. So, give the air conditioners a break. And overnight lows will help you do that. Tonight, 57, 56 Saturday night, 46 Sunday night, 56 Monday night, 55 Tuesday night.
Sounds very good.
Okay, make your plans accordingly.
We will.
Yeah, I think there'll be some serious grilling done over the weekend. I saw some pork tenderloins come into the house yesterday.
Oh, baby.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
640 Meats.
Okay.
They've got them for you.
Yes, they do.
They've got them for you.
Pork tenderloin, what are you doing with those this weekend, you know?
I don't know what Amy's doing. I saw her watching a video where a woman takes the pork tenderloins and weaves them together. First off, she slices them open and she puts a bunch of different ingredients inside them and puts them back together and then weaves them together and grills them that way.
Like a braided tenderloin?
Yes, exactly. Almost braided. And it looked fantastic.
Interesting.
Yeah, Amy and I were watching it. She gave me the look like, interested? And I went, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. A German woman that I have discovered on YouTube who does cooking. And all you see is her hands.
Okay.
There's a lot of ASMR to it.
Okay.
The chopping is very well mic'd.
Really?
Everything that she cuts up and all that, you definitely get the sound of, especially her going through vegetables has a really wonderful sound to it.
Really?
But yeah, it's just hands. It's some nice music. It's very well lit. It's very well shot. And she just, like I said, it's in German. It's got some subtitles to it.
Oh, really?
But watching her work her magic the other day was one I was fascinated by was, okay, it's time to eat, and you just discovered all you have is ground beef and bread. What do you do?
Yeah.
And she showed you 3 things you can do.
Really?
And all of them looked great, and I never would have thought to do it because I would have been on my way to a drive-thru at this point.
It does sound like. Is it this one? No.
It kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like a braided pork loin. Yep, kind of looks like that. I can't remember the name of the. I'll try to find it for you. That's it.
This one?
Yes.
Fleischrespot von Ima?
Yep, that's her. That's the German woman who hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. And she just she braids it, she does cool things with it, and she deals with everyday stuff.
That's pretty good.
The things that she shows you how to cook are things that most people have around, and if you follow what she does, you'll nail it.
Sounds good.
So there you go. That's kind of the plan.
We know how that goes.
I will. I'll fill you in. Let's speaking of filling you in, let's fill you in on stuff that happened on this particular date with the Almanac for Friday, June the 9th, 160th day of the year. We have 205 remaining in 2023. Our highlight in history was on this date in 1732 when a guy named James Oglethorpe received a charter from Britain's King George II to found the colony of Georgia.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Atlanta Hawks, Braves.
No,
none of it without James Oglethorpe and the King.
No Masters?
Yeah, I never thought about
Masters?
that. No Augusta, yeah. 1870 on this date, author Charles Dickens passes away at Gad's Hill Place in England. 1915, guitarist, songwriter, inventor Les Paul, born in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
There's got to be a museum or something for him up there, right?
There's got to be some sort of guitar museum, I would think, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, because Les Paul made quite a name for himself, not only as a performer, but as a guy behind guitars that everybody seemed to want. There's a monument, performance center, middle school.
The home of Les Paul's there, if you want to go check it out. That's pretty cool. I had no idea.
Yep, I didn't know that either. So there you go. Looking for a historical trip, head up to Waukesha and enjoy the Les Paul stuff.
The Wizard of Waukesha is what he's called.
1940, on this date during World War II, Norway decided to surrender to the Nazis, and they made that effective at midnight. It was on this date, 1954, during the Senate Army McCarthy hearings. Army Special Counsel Joseph N. Welch berated Senator Joseph McCarthy from Wisconsin, asking, "Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?" Mm-hmm. On this date in 1969, the Senate confirmed Warren Burger to be the new Chief Justice of the United States, succeeding Earl Warren. Yeah, that's when we had that rule about a guy had to have Warren in his name.
Need Warren.
It was on this date in 1972. Heavy rains triggered record flooding in the Black Hills of South Dakota. The resulting disaster killed 238 people and left $164 million in damages. Mm-hmm. On this date in 1983, Britain's Conservatives, led by Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, won a decisive election victory. 86 on this date. This was big news. The Rogers Commission released its report on the Challenger disaster, criticizing NASA and rocket builder Morton Thiokol for management problems that led to the explosion that claimed the lives of 7 astronauts. On this date in 93, the science fiction film Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, had its world premiere in Washington, D.C.
It's 30 years old?
Yeah. Yes, it is. I remember reading the book before there was talk of a movie or anything else, and the entire time I read the book thinking this would be a spectacular movie, but there's no way they could do this.
How would you do that?
Given the special effects of the time, I think the book came out in maybe 1990, 89, something along those lines.
That was quick.
Yeah, and reading about it, I'm just thinking this would be great. There's no way. Then when I read, they're going to do it. Spielberg's behind it.
He might be able to do it.
My hopes went up a little bit and was pretty much thrilled with the result.
It was awesome.
I thought so.
I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
I thought so. 10 years ago on this date, risking prosecution by the American government, 29-year-old intelligence analyst Edward Snowden was revealed as the source of The Guardian and the Washington Post disclosures about secret American surveillance programs. It was also 10 years ago on this date, Rafael Nadal became the first man to win 8 titles at the same Grand Slam tournament after beating fellow Spaniard David Ferrer in the French Open final.
Very good.
It was 5 years ago on this date, Justify, ridden by Mike Smith and trained by Bob Baffert, won the Belmont Stakes to become horse racing's 13th Triple Crown winner and the second in 4 years.
Is Belmont coming up this weekend?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's not for a Triple Crown, so...
there's no Triple Crown riding on it, so that will soften the blow a little bit if they pull the plug. Simona Halep won her first Grand Slam trophy, beating Sloane Stephens in the women's final at the French Open on this date as well 5 years ago. Over to the birthdays. It's not a long list, but your name always goes at the top with us. Happy birthday if it's your day. Leading off the birthday list is always the oldest person on the list, and that would be media analyst Marvin Kalb. He is 93 today. Sports commentator Dickie V, Dick Vitale, 84 years old today, and thanks to modern medicine, Dickie V celebrating a birthday.
With us. I've done a 180 on Dickie V in my lifetime. He used to annoy me a lot, and kind of like the Bill Walton thing. I think once I realized it wasn't shtick he was doing, that's just who he is, and he really is that excited for things. I love him, and he's good for the game. He's good for college basketball.
There's an earnestness about Dick Vitale that is very charming.
Yep. And a huge Tampa Bay Rays fan. Season ticket holder.
Okay.
He's been a season ticket holder, I think, since day one.
He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah. Retired MLB All-Star Dave Parker is 72 today. What a marvelous athlete Dave Parker was. Film composer James Newton Howard. The name might not ring a bell, but you've heard his music. If you've seen movies, TV shows, you've heard from James Newton Howard. Mystery author Patricia Cornwell hit 67. Michael J. Fox is 62. We should walk and have a camera on us while we tell you that it's Aaron Sorkin's birthday.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Writer-producer Aaron Sorkin, famous for characters walking and talking. Yep, he is 62 today. Johnny Depp is 60. Actress Gloria Rubin is 59. And Natalie Portman is 42. And that covers your birthday list and your almanac for June 9th of 2023.
Short list, but that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, not a bad one.
Some good ones on there. Clear some things up. Belmont is this weekend, this Saturday.
Assuming.
That's one of the places that got smoked out.
Here's the deal on Belmont. Racing at Belmont was canceled yesterday due to poor air quality from the wildfires in Canada. New York governor warns that the Belmont Stakes final leg of the Triple Crown could be affected if they don't improve by tomorrow. Second straight day in which fires north of the border affected sports in northeastern U.S. Major League Baseball, Nationals home game against the Diamondbacks postponed yesterday, a day after games were called off in New York and Philly. New York's Governor Kathy Hochul says one of racing's biggest events could be scrapped if the air quality index on Saturday exceeds 200. That's the EPA's benchmark for air that is very unhealthy, basically for everyone.
Okay. I think 200. I think New York was sitting at 800 something.
Yeah,
the other
way
day.
Beyond that.
Yeah.
Yep. If air quality is measured at 150 to 200, only horses that pass an additional pre-race veterinary examination will be permitted to race.
Yikes.
Quoting her, people come from all over the country. It's huge for the local economy. We hopefully can get it going. No assurance of what the weather's going to be. So it's going to be a last minute decision, I'm sure.
They're talking about scratching it.
They're talking about scratching it.
Not postponing.
No, but just literally pulling the plug. New York Racing Association VP of Communications Pat McKenna said in a statement that state officials and the Racing Association consulted on how to proceed going forward in our shared efforts to provide the safest possible environment for training and racing thoroughbred horses. They remain optimistic that conditions will allow for the resumption of training and racing on Friday in advance of the Belmont Stakes on Saturday. Problem is, that weather system is not expected really to budge at all in that area. And it could really, really give them a problem throughout the weekend.
All right. Horse racing has had numerous black eyes on it over the last 3 years.
Well, they just canceled a bunch of stuff down at Churchill Downs with a dozen horses dead over the last 10 days or 20 days, something like that.
Horses just dying right and left. There was that Santa Anita out in California.
Yes, that was bad.
That was bad. Horse racing needs a win. Needs a good story, and I would assume putting horses out in bad weather and having one or two of them die the next day. Not good for them.
Oh no, that's not going to look good anywhere.
Straight up canceling it's weird. There's a ton of money wrapped up in this. I mean, for the participants, for Belmont themselves,
millions of dollars. Yep.
I'm kind of surprised they wouldn't just postpone it for a week. I know it wouldn't be what you wanted, but
wouldn't you rather run it?
Yeah.
I
think the owners would like you to run it on Tuesday at midnight if you have to.
Yeah, because a lot of money goes right down the drain otherwise. By the way, Churchill Downs to suspend all racing operations to further evaluate safety measures amid increase in horse deaths. Churchill Downs, that's the racetrack where the Kentucky Derby is held, temporarily suspending all racing operations to review protocols in the wake of a series of horse deaths. There were a bunch, too. Churchill Downs Racetrack has seen an unusual number of horse injuries over the previous month, resulting in 12 equine fatalities. 12.
Wow. It's too many.
I get the idea MLB would start, looking at things if we had 12 guys die on the field. Trying to steal a base. Hey, he just never got up.
We had to shoot.
We had to shoot him at second base. So, a total of 12 racehorses have died at the racetrack since March 30th. Many of them euthanized after suffering injuries during the race.
Okay. All right.
That's something they're not going to show you in the highlights.
No, that gets
Thank God.
That gets glossed over.
No, having seen that
quick.
once, nobody should see that.
Yeah, I saw the tent come out once at Arlington. That's a bummer. It's a bummer for everybody in the place.
Yeah, and where I saw it done, they didn't get a tent around it. They just got some people around it and did it. And I'm a kid, and that kind of stuck with me a little bit.
Yeah, they brought out like a portable tent, put it up around the horse. And
always makes me now when I watch an NFL game, he's going in the tent. No! Don't put him down.
Yeah, it's exactly like the tent they have on the sideline.
Run, Odell! Get out of there!
You don't want to be in there.
You don't want to be in the tent. 620 News Talk 1440 WROK.
Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
635 News Talk 1440 WROK. It's clear, it's sunny, it's 51 on this Friday morning as we head for a daytime high today of 83. Chance being rained on is only 1%. Going to be sunny all day long. And an overnight low tonight of 58. 83 again on Saturday as well. 15% chance of precipitation. We drop about 20 to 65 as a high on Sunday with a 60% chance of rain coming with it. But then we pop right back to partly sunny skies and 72 Monday, partly sunny and 81 on Tuesday.
Not bad.
Yep, the only day that really breaks above 15% over the next 5 is Sunday with that 60% chance. Everything else very, very low.
A little brisk outside right now.
Yeah, luckily no wind at all, so it's just a complete straight 51 degrees. But if we had some wind going this morning, you'd feel it. You would definitely feel it. We talk about TikTok from time to time, the effort to ban it around the country and other places. The fact that you have it, you enjoy it. I know my daughter does as well. And when most people hear the words TikTok, they go, okay, this is great. This is something about what the kids are shooting videos on. No. Not in this particular case.
Listen, it's not just for kids.
And that's what I'm about to illustrate here. World War II veteran Jake Larson. He's 100 years old. Best known under the social media name Papa Jake.
Papa Jake.
Enjoyed giving hugs to the fans he met during his trip to Normandy for the D-Day commemorations. He has more than 600,000 followers on TikTok.
Papa Jake is his name?
Yes, Jake Larson. Went to the ceremony on Tuesday at the American Cemetery, marking the 79th anniversary of D-Day. Quote, I got in on the planning of D-Day. I'm just a country boy. Now I'm a star on TikTok, he told the Associated Press. You can see me all over. Papa Jake, I'm a legend. I didn't plan this. It just came about. He landed on Omaha Beach where he ran under machine gun fire and made it to the cliffs without a single scratch on him. Quote, I'm 100 years old. I don't have an ache. I don't have a pain. And you can't fake that.
He looks great. I'm looking at some of his videos right now.
He has that. He's got a charm that emanates from him. He seems very delighted by everything that's going on.
Very earnest in everything here. Yeah, he's having a good time.
Monday, he went to the Pegasus Memorial, which is a site commemorating a key D-Day operation where troops had to take control of a strategic bridge. That's where he met Bill Gladden, who's a 100-year-old British veteran. I want to give you a hug. Thank you. I got tears in my eyes. We were meant to meet, said Papa Jake to Mr. Gladden as they shook hands. He also went Sunday into a parade alongside other American veterans, many using wheelchairs, at St. Mary Église, where thousands of paratroopers jumped not long after midnight on June 6th. Every stop on his Normandy trip, greeted by people who wanted to shake his hand and get a selfie with him. In return, he offered up a big hug. Several French posters posted comments on his TikTok account to tell of their emotion at seeing him. He was born in Owatonna, Minnesota, listed in the National Guard in 1938, lied about his age because he was only 15 at the time. January 42, sent overseas, stationed in Northern Ireland, became Operations Sergeant, assembled the planning books for the invasion of Normandy. After D-Day, stayed with his unit, continued all the way through the Battle of the Bulge. He was in Normandy with a group of more than 40 American veterans who traveled with the Best Defense Foundation. They're a nonprofit group that helps them visit former battlefields.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
No, he's that's a great story. By the way, March 18th is what's his name? Jake. What's his last name?
Jake Larson.
Yeah, Jake is Jake Larson Day here in the United States. So that was decreed last year for him in a ceremony. Cool.
I think that's outstanding.
Very cool. And kudos to some child or grandchild or great grandchild or maybe even great great grandchild for getting Grandpa Jake on the TikTok there, because that's outstanding. Yeah, TikTok is. Tom Lube mentioned this the other day when we were talking to him. He basically, your social media accounts kind of reflect what you're interested in, whether you're conscious of it or not. And if it's annoying you, just maybe be aware of what you're paying attention to.
I suppose that's true.
It could be part of it, especially in those algorithms where things are popping up with things that you're not following. That's what on TikTok you can follow people. I don't think I follow anybody on TikTok. I just let it keep guessing what I like, and it's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good for you?
Do you
have any Papa Jake stuff show up?
I haven't yet, but I just searched him. So
and we've talked about him, so now he'll show up in your timeline.
It knows that I like him, so I'll definitely get some Papa Jake stuff coming up here. Yep, that's cool.
That's very cool. 600,000 followers at age 100.
Deserves every one of them.
Well done.
Mm-hmm. You should monetize that account, by the way.
I would think.
Yeah, why don't you get a couple sponsorships there, buddy?
I bet it wouldn't be hard.
Not at all.
Bet it wouldn't be hard. Speaking of people of an advanced age, Papa Jake's still around at 100. The Iron Sheik, though, however, no longer with us.
You jabroni.
Yep, we didn't get a chance to mention this yesterday, but the Iron Sheik, former pro wrestler, relished playing a burly, bombastic villain in the 80s.
He was good at it.
Yeah, he was great. Later became a very popular Twitter personality. Died on Wednesday at the age of 81. WWE posted an article confirming his death, and a statement about his passing was also posted on his Twitter page, giving some details of his life. Neither statement mentioned the cause of death or where he died, but the Twitter post said he departed the world peacefully. Mm-hmm. Real name, Hossein Khosrow Ali Vaziri. Grew up in a small village in Iran where he embraced wrestling as a kid. During his pro wrestling career, he donned curled boots and used the camel clutch as his finishing move during individual and tag team clashes, in which he played the role of an anti-American heel for the WWF, which later turned into the WWE. Barrel-chested, often really pissed off the crowd with the anti-American persona and rhetoric, alongside his tag team partner of Nikolai Volkov, who played the part of a Soviet villain. They won the tag team championship in '85 at the first WrestleMania. Successful individual wrestler as well. Last appearance in the ring, WrestleMania 17.
Wow. He was everywhere.
He was everywhere.
He was everywhere. His Twitter was outstanding. Outstanding. It was always like his last tweet was on June 6th, by the way. Where he just tweeted out F the wildfires.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, right.
And whoever let the dogs out can go blank yourself. And that was another one of his tweets. So he's pithy.
Oh, he was really, really good on Twitter. He understood how the Twitter machine works.
Sure.
And he was interesting. I was never into wrestling. I mean, ever. But I was well aware of the Iron Sheik.
Oh, you didn't need to be into it to know some of these names.
You didn't, and he was around, and he became a social media star after wrestling,
and not a totally fake persona. He is Iranian. He did serve in the Iranian army and all those things. Didn't necessarily share the revolutionary spirit. Documentary about his life called The Sheik. He said he became attracted to wrestling as a teenager and a grappler in the Iranian army. Quote, I was married to the wrestling mat because I was so much in love with the sport. Documentary, he said he once served as a bodyguard for the Shah of Iran. As a pro wrestler, he acknowledged taking advantage of anti-Iranian sentiment following the 79 hostage crisis. It was the right time for me to establish my character and my gimmick.
I like the way he calls it a gimmick.
Yeah, It was a gimmick.
Yeah.
Used humor and wisdom to build a large Twitter following. Twitter statement said the Iron Sheik transcended the realm of sports entertainment, called him a man of immense passion and dedication. With his larger-than-life persona, incredible charisma, unparalleled in-ring skills, he captivated audiences around the globe. He was a trailblazer, breaking barriers and paving the way for a diverse range of wrestlers who followed in his footsteps.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. He was, funny. Camel clutch. I remember kids doing that on the playground.
Yeah, which you shouldn't.
Right. You shouldn't do it.
Because that move in particular, you really shouldn't be doing.
Were you ever a wrestling dude?
Yeah, when I was a kid, what was on Sunday mornings? Sunday mornings. All-Star Wrestling.
All-Star
is
Wrestling.
What it was called. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a guy?
There were several guys. I like the High Flyers. I like Vern Gagne. Who else was part of that? You had Dr. X, you had Ray the Crippler Stevens, you had Nick Bockwinkel, Kenny the Sodbuster J. For people of a certain age, all of these names are ringing a bell.
Really? Okay.
And you haven't thought about them in decades, because I really haven't either.
I've never done it. I just missed it. Parents weren't into it. I mean, I don't think my parents could name you. I wonder if you asked him, it'd be an interesting quiz. Ask my dad, name me wrestlers. I wonder if he'd even give you a Hulk Hogan or anything like that. I don't know, but they weren't into it. I didn't really have friends that were into it. I have friends today that are way into it.
Yeah, I remember, like I said, as a kid, I was wildly into it, and I never understood why when my dad came in the room and it was on, he would laugh. I just never understood what he was laughing about. It's very serious. Dr. X just broke Ray the Crippler Stevens just broke Dr. X's leg right there in the ring, Dad, and you're laughing about it? He just hit him with a chair. You think that's funny?
It's very serious.
That's against the rules, Dad.
He's breaking all the rules.
That, and then they would always pitch the wrestling that was coming to an area near you. At that time, Boylan would host a lot of these wrestling matches and all that. Man, I was always hitting him up. Come on, let's go to Boylan. Boylan's, Rockford isn't that far away. Let's go to Boylan. Let's go to Boylan. Yeah, we'll do that one of these times. We never did. I believe at this point we never will. But he did keep the fire burning as far as a hope that we might go.
No, it's as strong as it ever was. They're on like 5 nights a week somewhere. The pay-per-view matches are
giant.
Are huge, and
and when I was a kid, you watched it on Sunday mornings, and that was about it.
You can catch it, like pretty much every night of the week now. The WWE app is regarded as like one of the best streaming services out there.
Sound like they don't have the money.
Yeah, and I think it's cheap too. I think it's like $50 a year or something like that. It's pretty good. One of my favorite things to do is we're hanging out with my buddies that are super into it. Like they've been into it for a while. Now they have money or are still into it. So they've gone to San Antonio to do trips, things like that. Sure. But I love asking them, hey, just turn on a good match from whenever, just whenever. And then I'm like the oblivious girlfriend on the couch asking all the questions about the football game. Mm-hmm. Who's that guy? Is he good? Is he?
Why is he doing that? Can you do that?
Is that legal, guys? Can
he do that?
But it's fun.
That one guy's distracting the referee while the other guy hits him with something. Is that okay?
But it's fun. It's fun. It's so big right now. I feel like it's just too big of a task to try to weave myself into the world right now. But I get it. It's a soap opera, man. It's a soap opera.
It basically is. It's an athletic soap opera.
It's a soap opera mixed with a circus, mixed with some wildly talented athletes out there. And it's just a good show. It's good entertainment. And
which is why they just sold it for $9 billion.
Yes.
That's right. $9 billion to get together with another couple of entertainment companies to form a $21 billion global live sports and entertainment company.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Vince McMahon's an idiot. No, he's really not.
It's all fake.
Yep.
Money's very
Money
real.
is very real.
Very real.
648 News Talk 1440 WROK.
Have you thought about
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.